Drug addiction is absolutely terrifying, and there are countless stories online from people who have first-hand experience with it. Today we're going to take a look at a haunting video of a man who filmed himself while under the influence of meth to warn others of the dangers. Let's investigate. If you enjoy internet mysteries and generally disturbing content, feel free to subscribe and turn on notifications for more content like this. If you're interested in supporting the channel, you can become a Ko-fi member or a channel member to gain access to uncut videos and other perks, or you can leave me a tip by clicking the thanks under this video. Thanks to anyone who considers this. This video is sponsored by Toon Blast. Toon Blast is a free-to-play puzzle-solving mobile game in which you blast cubes and create powerful combos to pass levels, helping the Toon Gang to travel around magical worlds. It's super easy to learn but requires a bit of strategy, making it a really fun and engaging activity to pass time, plus there are no ads, meaning no annoying disruptions. You can join a team and work together to unlock rewards, and compete against other players around the world to win awesome prizes. And there are also various mini-games that allow you to claim rewards, making Toon Blast overall a really exciting app that you won't get bored of anytime soon. It's available on all devices and you don't need Wi-Fi to play, so you can enjoy the game anywhere and at any time, whether you're having a lazy day at home or on a flight with no internet connection. This was a godsend to me the other day when my Wi-Fi was down for a few hours. I don't know what I would have done without Toon Blast. Clearly, finding a way to entertain myself without technology just isn't in my nature. But thankfully, the time flew by playing this game and I really enjoyed it. And I'm not the only one. Toon Blast has millions of positive reviews and high ratings on the App Store and Google Play, so why not give it a try? Download Toon Blast for free and get 3 hours of unlimited lives and 100 free coins by clicking the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen now. This video will centre around drug addiction. Viewer discretion is advised. You can become a Ko-fi member or a channel member to watch an uncut version of this video which features extra details that were unsuitable for this cut. In January 2014, the Los Angeles LGBT Center uploaded a video on their YouTube channel titled "Testimonial from a Crystal Meth User Before He Died." The man in the video, named John Andrew Flemming, had filmed himself several times while high on meth as he wanted to show others the effects of being addicted to it, what it's like while under the influence and how it can destroy your life. The video consists of 2 separate clips where John is talking to the camera. If you didn't know what he was saying, you'd probably just assume he's sober. He seems very calm, not erratic or hyper or aggressive. His speech is normal. He's not slurring his words or stuttering. His general demeanour is not too out of the ordinary. He's not shaking or twitching, and he's managing to hold the camera as steady as I would be able to. The appearance of his face isn't particularly concerning. He has a sore on his jawline, but other than that, he doesn't look overly unhealthy or haggard. This video is not dramatic or sensationalized. It couldn't even be described as shocking. It's just the cold, hard reality of addiction. In the video, John can be seen pushing upwards on his skin, claiming that it's making the wrinkles disappear and saying he has no more droopy eye. Obviously, we can see that this isn't the case. The only change to his skin is that it becomes more red after he applies pressure to it. There is a wound on his face, spreading from near his mouth onto his jawline, which he claims was caused by a pinched nerve that popped that morning. It looks like it would be sore, but John is rubbing his hands over it, clearly not feeling a thing. He says he was choking and being strangled by it, and that when he pushes on the skin, staph comes out, implying it leaking has relieved the pain. He claims that the brown stuff that comes out is not blood, even though it inevitably would have been bleeding, and his fingers are covered in what looks like dried blood. There looks to be a scar under his chin, right next to the open wound, which is presumably from a similar wound that healed already. He goes on to talk about what he calls a nerve near his mouth, on the other side of his face, repeatedly saying, "Look at that," and comparing it to the other side of his face, saying he looks so rested and fresh with no wrinkles, as if he had a facelift. Around 3 minutes into the video, he holds the camera a bit further back, and we can see that the sore on his face isn't the only sign of his meth use. There's a large, very painful looking lesion on his shoulder that appears to be bleeding, or it was bleeding not long ago, though John seems totally unfazed by it. The second clip shows John in the hospital. His facial hair is slightly longer and there's a new, fresh sore on his chest, so clearly some time has passed since the first clip. He says, "You can see it broke through my chest, whatever it is. I think I have staph all over my body. I just woke up out of a sleep and whatever was in my chest melted through the skin and started squiggling around." The video ends as John states he just wanted to let his mum know, so he's going to text this video to her, before he says, "Call you tomorrow, mum." I'll play a couple of short clips from the video just to give you an idea of John's general demeanour.
I just want to show you all the wrinkles are going away. As I push up, look at that, I have no more droopy eye. I mean, look at my face. Look at these eyes. Look at the bags here. Look at the side of the face. Look at that. You can see right here. That's a nerve. And then look at this. This side of my face. I look so rested and fresh. I have like no wrinkles.
According to Healthline.com, the effects of meth include paranoia, psychosis, delusions, sleeping difficulties, memory loss, executive dysfunction, including decreased ability to focus or make quick decisions, cognitive impairment, severe tooth decay, extreme weight loss, skin abscesses, increased risk of Parkinson's disease, and increased risk of bloodborne viruses like hepatitis C when using a needle. John was clearly experiencing paranoia and psychosis. He implied there was some kind of living organism in his skin that was wriggling around and eventually broke out. Apparently this is quite a common occurrence for those addicted to meth, and causes them to pick at the abscesses, which can increase the risk of serious infections. From the short clips in this video, it's impossible to know what other symptoms John experienced, but he was likely suffering in various other ways. Apparently John took a total of 2,432 images and videos to document his journey, with hopes of educating others on what addiction is like. It's not clear exactly when the clips in the video were filmed, but he had been taking meth for around 6 years before he tragically died in April 2013 from an OD due to a combination of meth and GHB. He was 43 years old. His brother Jason explained how he received a call from John's roommate informing him in an article for the Los Angeles LGBT Center, quote, he said, "I have some horrible news, it's your brother," and I knew immediately what had happened. I instinctively felt so lost, it knocked my breath away. I remember looking at my brother laying on the gurney. I put my hand on his forehead and he was still warm. He was no longer gritting his teeth or scratching at himself. Gone were the frowns on his forehead. He was finally at peace. I can't even imagine how hard this must have been for John's family. Jason said he was convinced his brother was going to fight his addiction. Although he was stubborn, he was steadfast and strong, and if he set his mind to something, he made it happen. With the help of Mike Rizzo, founder of the LA LGBT Center's meth recovery services, the family set up an intervention and John eventually agreed to go to rehab, but he wasn't able to give up the meth. He tried several times and each time ended up relapsing. The family never gave up on John, but they had to watch him deteriorate from a happy and hard-working man who always made time for his family to someone who was paranoid, irritable, and no longer able to stick to plans, with a habit of disappearing for periods of time. Each time John went into rehab and gave them some hope, the hope was ripped away, and still they never gave up. The pain of knowing he wasn't able to beat his addiction must be unbearable, but it sounds like Jason takes some solace in knowing his brother is no longer suffering. I've never used meth personally, and I don't know anyone who has. It's not really a thing in the UK as it is in the US, so while I have seen the devastating effects addiction to other drugs can have, my only impression of meth is mostly from movies and TV shows, which of course are dramatised and produced for entertainment. So it was certainly surprising to see this raw, somber footage of John while under the influence. Most of the time in movies, or even documentaries, you see the most shocking parts of addiction. You watch people actually taking the drug, their dishevelled appearance after years of abuse, all the ways they're totally dependent on it, and the lengths they will go to get it. Be that stealing or being in unsafe situations, some are homeless due to addiction. They don't have a family or anyone to help them choose a better path. Depictions that show these aspects are of course important and to some extent effective when it comes to raising awareness and educating people on the effects of addiction, but sometimes you can get so caught up in the drama and the action that you almost forget for a moment that these things aren't just the plot of a movie and they're actually happening. Seeing the footage of John is different in the sense that he seems more relatable. For all I know, further into his addiction, he may have come across more like the people we see in movies and documentaries, but at the stage we see him at, you could pass him in the street and have no idea how much he's struggling behind closed doors. In a way, it hits home more. It's easy to see people who have been totally consumed by addiction and think that could never happen to you. If you've never been addicted to drugs, it seems so far away from the life that you're used to, whereas John seems so close. That could be me or it could be you. That video bridges the gap and makes you realise it could happen to anyone. After John's death, his family founded the John Andrew Flemming Foundation, a non-profit organisation dedicated to educating and raising awareness of the dangers of meth and providing resources to fight against addiction. According to the website, John was a shy, bright kid destined for success. Born in Flint, Michigan on December 15, 1969, John grew up in Goodrich, Michigan. He graduated with honours from Goodrich High School in 1988, continuing on to receive his degree from Michigan State University in 1993. Seeking warmer weather and sunny skies, John Andrew moved to Los Angeles, California, where he began his career at CM Wright. During his tenure, John travelled extensively, all the while receiving a hands-on mentorship in high-style interior design and architecture. During his worldly travels, John acquired a vast collection of Titanic artifacts and memorabilia. He later worked with the Flemming Group and Cash Inc., representing the finest in antique and reproduction furnishings. In 2009, John Andrew proudly acquired his own condominium. Mindful of its mid-century architecture, John respectfully incorporated his unique Art Deco modern touch. John will be remembered for his dry sense of humour, quick wit, and his large appetite. John Andrew Flemming of Los Angeles, California, passed away peacefully in his sleep April 28, 2013. John was only 43 years old. John Andrew's dog and best friend Bucky resides happy and safe in San Diego with her new family. Jason stated that his brother wasn't ashamed of his addiction and that, quote, he said that everyone, especially his drug dealer, needed to see what meth did to him. He wanted his image, graphic and uncensored, to be visible. It was his dying wish. Although John tragically succumbed to his addiction, he didn't die for nothing. Thanks to his consideration for others, not wanting them to make the same mistakes he did, his story serves as a deterrent, and judging by the comments on the video, which has over 7.8 million views, has even encouraged some people to get help for their addictions. One commenter said that the video was a building point for them to get clean, and they've been off the meth for 4.5 years now. I think John would have been happy to know that, and I hope his family takes some comfort in that too. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts in the comments, plus any suggestions you might have for future videos. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing, Huge thank you to my Ko-fi members and channel members whose names are on screen now. I really appreciate your support. Remember to click the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen now to download Toon Blast for free and get 3 hours of unlimited lives and 100 free coins. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week in a new video.